Leaders from multiple political parties, including BNP-M, National Party, PTI, ANP, and the Balochistan Bar Council have condemned the Pakistan's government's restrictions on rallies and sit-ins, calling them unconstitutional and a violation of the democratic rights. The criticism coincides with the Balochistan National Party's Mangal's planned march from Mustang to Quetta on Sunday, demanding the release of detained activists. Opposition leaders warned the government against using force to suppress peaceful protesters and called for an immediate end to detentions. Despite no breakthrough in talks, back-channel efforts continue. Government preparations to block access to Quetta are underway, but opposition parties have pledged to join in solidarity. Infighting within the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf intensified after senior leaders Asad Kaisar and Shahram Tarakai demanded an inquiry into remarks by Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Chief Minister Ali Amin Gandapur. Gandapur claimed that Imran Khan had instructed him not to award any provincial tickets to Kaisar Tarakai and Atif Khan, calling them conspirators. The leaders publicly rejected the allegations and urged the party leadership to investigate. The party faces internal divisions and the legal political challenges, with calls for unity focused on securing the release of Imran Khan and other imprisoned leaders. As Pakistan grapples with the drought and below-average rainfall, the government has reaffirmed support for key hydropower and water storage projects. Federal Minister for Water Resources Mohammad Muin Watto emphasized the timely completion of major projects like Daimar Bhasha and Mohammed Dam, which will boost water storage and hydropower capacity. The Lahore High Court, however, expressed concerns over water wastages and urged the government to declare a water emergency in rural areas. It also directed authorities to impose fines on housing societies misusing water and introduce stricter measures for new building plans amid growing concerns over depleting groundwater levels. Israel's forces have escalated their aerial and ground assault on Gaza's 𝐒𝐧𝐤𝐬 neighborhood, leaving families trapped and calling for urgent rescue. The ongoing conflict has devastated the civilian population with over 50,000 killed since October 2023 and more than 115,000 wounded. Entire neighborhoods have been destroyed and humanitarian aid remains critically limited. The situation in 𝐒𝐧𝐤𝐬 is part of Israel's broader campaign to seize large areas of Gaza and establish security zones. Incursions into western areas like Beit Lahaya and Beit Hanun have resulted in widespread destruction. Amid the violence, the Gaza Health Ministry reported 3 deaths in 𝐒𝐧𝐤𝐬, including a woman and 2 men. International outrage has intensified following the killing of 15 Palestinian Red Crescent and civil defense workers. Video evidence contradicts Israeli claims that emergency vehicles advanced suspiciously without signals, showing clearly marked ambulances and medics in reflective uniforms targeted by Israeli forces. Former UN official Martin Griffiths condemned the attack as inhumane horror and urged an independent investigation through the UN Security Council. Muntar Abed, the lone survivor of the medic killings, described seeing blood-stained emergency vehicles buried under sand by Israeli bulldozers. He was detained and interrogated by Israeli troops before being released. Humanitarian organizations have emphasized that deliberate attacks on medics constitute war crimes under international law. The humanitarian crisis deepens as 1.7 million people remain displaced in Gaza, facing famine and lack of access to clean water or medical care. Hamas marked Palestinians' Child's Day by highlighting the tragic toll on children, with approximately 19,000 martyred and 39,000 losing one or both parents since the aggression began. Calls for international action to protect civilians grow louder as the conflict escalates further. The death toll from Myanmar's earthquake has reached 3,354, with over 4,800 injured and 220 missing. The UN praised humanitarian groups for their efforts despite the ongoing civil war, which has displaced millions. Military leader Min Aung Hlaing, returning from a regional summit, reaffirmed plans for December elections, though critics call them a sham to maintain military control. Indian Prime Minister Modi urged a permanent ceasefire and for elections to be inclusive and credible. Meanwhile, 3 US aid workers were laid off while helping with earthquake relief amid US aid cuts under the Trump administration. Other countries, including China, Russia, and India, have increased assistance, while the junta restricts aid to regions opposing its rule. This week, several Ukrainians in the US under a humanitarian program received alarming emails stating their status had been revoked, giving them 7 days to leave the country. The email warned that non-compliance would lead to federal action. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson clarified the emails were sent in error and the Ukrainian parole program remains in place. The exact number of affected individuals is unclear. The confusion follows reports that the Trump administration had planned to revoke temporary status for 240,000 Ukrainians, a reversal of Biden's policies. One parole distressed by the email expressed fear and confusion. Angela Boylan's head of Ukrainian refugee support group confirmed at least 2 women, including a pregnant one, received the email, causing panic among those affected.